Alrighty. Welcome in, fellas. Good to have you guys in here. Start letting me know if my mic is good, listenable. Hey, Oscar, how you doing? I want to make sure the quality is good for you guys, so that way we can get everything going the right way. I wish I could pin like a message in the chat. Maybe I can. Maybe I don't know about it. Thank you, Martin. Awesome. Thank you, Oscar. Yeah, maybe I can pin. Link to a post, lesson, event, or space. No. I'm doing great, Oscar. Let's see here. Yeah, because I want to attach a file. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? What's up? I want to attach a file or something so that way you guys could have like the. I mean, I guess I'll do it the normal way, right? Where I can go ahead and. Hey, Lee, what's good, man? Yeah, I'll give you guys the document here. That document basically goes over, the Synthflow webinar build, just how I do every single time we have a Synthflow webinar. I make sure that you guys have a document that has the prompts and all that good stuff. But this one is going to be very interesting because obviously, as you guys may know, we are going to be making like well, I've made it, but I'm going to explain to you guys how it would work with like a healthcare receptionist, essentially. We will wait for a little more people to join up, but I'll give you guys kind of like a brief overview on everything. What is? Oh, requesting. Oh, wait, hold on. That's my bad. I should have given you guys access. It is restricted. You guys should be able to go ahead now and get access to it. If you click on the same link again, you should be able to get it, or refresh. All right, yeah, Chris should be able to now. Awesome. There you go. I think the comments are a little bit like delayed for some reason. Should be good though. Okay, it is 1:03. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. Whoever wants to join later on, obviously we will have the recording for this, so you don't miss out on anything. So if anything, if you guys ever want to go ahead and stop the recording, right, you can watch it back, so on and so forth after the call, and I'll make sure you guys know where to find it as well, which I already put it actually inside of the Google Doc that I sent you guys in the beginning of the call. Just scroll up, you'll be able to see it. Let's make sure that, of course, I mean, this is my job, but I'm going to make sure this is a good webinar for you guys to watch. So let's get straight on into it. Let's do it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit about what is going on. Right. So as you can see, this is the document that you guys see from me. Now, this is the cool part of this webinar. I'm going to allow you guys to even test the voice AI whenever you would like. So this voice AI receptionist is basically a healthcare receptionist that is helping you find a physician and booking in a time with that physician, right? With whether it's a follow-up, a new patient appointment, a general inquiry. We make sure that we identify it within this call itself. Now, what happens after the call, right? Essentially, what would generally happen is you would have an EMR system, and then you would connect into that EMR system. But as a doctor's office, what we're gonna do here is basically just send like an email to the physician that they selected, so that way they get notified. Hey, this person booked in an appointment. Hey, this person said this, and that for their inquiry. And then, of course, they could go ahead and deal with that. But it's going to be a more simpler build. We're not connecting to an EMR system just because I don't have a clinic. So it should be self-explanatory. But either way, it is still going to be jam packed with value. I want to make sure that you guys get all the value that you can from this, especially with the new Synthflow updates that have been going on. There's been so many Synthflow updates, and I want to make sure that you guys know about them. And of course, the current status of where we stand, what are the best voice AI settings and stuff like that. So let's jump on straight into here. First of all, I'm going to do something very different in comparison to how I did it in the last in the last webinars. I'm going to show you guys how it sounds like first and what it does, and then I'm going to show you how to build it. Okay? So first things first, we're going to listen to this recording. It's going to be 3 minutes, but I want to make sure you guys can hear it with the audio. So I don't think you guys will be able to hear it. Let me stop sharing real quick and then share system with audio. And now we should be good. Okay, so here we go. Let's do it.
Hey, thanks for calling 321 Health. I'm here to help you set up an appointment with a physician. I'll ask you some brief questions, and then we'll get you booked in. Sound good?
Yep, let's do it.
Great. Let's start with your first and last name. Could you please spell them out for me?
Yeah, it's KEVINCAMPOS.
Thanks, Kevin Campos. Just to confirm, that's Kevin Campos, right?
Yep, that's right.
Awesome. Now, could you please share your date of birth with me?
May 13, 2003.
Thanks for that. So, your date of birth is May 13th, 2003. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Perfect. Now, could you provide the phone number associated with your account?
Yeah, it's 787-691-2202.
Got it. So, your phone number is 787-691-2202. Is that correct?
Yep, that's right.
Great. Now, could you let me know the reason for your visit? Is it a follow-up, a new patient appointment, or just a general question?
It's a follow-up with my doctor.
Got it, a follow-up. Do you have a specific physician in mind for this appointment?
I'm not sure. I don't remember who I met with last time. Do you have it in your system?
It looks like I don't have the specific physician's name in the system right now. Would you like me to recommend a physician for your follow-up?
Yeah, I don't remember their name. Just recommend one, please.
All right. How about Dr. Lauren Palmer? She's great with follow-ups. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if she's good with follow-ups, let's do it.
Awesome. Let's get you scheduled with Dr. Lauren Palmer. What day works best for you? We have availability on Friday, December 6th at 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. and Saturday, December 7th at 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. Do any of these times work for you?
Saturday at 12 p.m.
Perfect. I'll book your appointment with Dr. Lauren Palmer for Saturday, December 7th at 12 p.m. Let me finalize that for you. Booking your appointment with Dr. Lauren Palmer for Saturday, December 7th at 12 p.m. Please wait a moment while I book your meeting. You're all set. I've booked your appointment with Dr. Lauren Palmer for Saturday, December 7th at 12 p.m. You'll receive a confirmation via SMS and in the client portal shortly. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it. I actually already received it, so thank you. You did pretty quick.
You're welcome. I'm glad to hear that. If you need anything else or want to make changes, feel free to reach out. Have a great day, Kevin.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, so as you can see, the voice sounded very, I would say, very human-like in comparison to what we've seen before. These are because of the updates that Synthflow has been doing, and you need to make sure that you know how to utilize it correctly. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over everything. And of course, if you guys would like to call this voice AI right now yourself, please do so that way you could test it out however you'd like. And yes, the session is recorded. Like this webinar is recorded so that way you guys could, go back if you miss anything, that it'll all be recorded. So you'll have it. Now let's go over some of the details, right, for the voice AI assistant, right? Her name is Jessica, and she is literally a template that I've made with Synthflow. Now, what does this mean? this means that if you go over here to create assistant, browse templates, you could go down here, and as you can see, she is an option that I've created with Synthflow for you guys to just go ahead and create. Now, this will literally go ahead and give you all of the actions that you may need. So we're talking about all the info extractors. The real-time booking won't be on there, obviously, because you'll need to add that yourself, as well as the call transferring. But a custom action will also be in there that goes into your go-ahead level to search for that user as well. So with that being said, let's go over a little bit of the details of how I set up my voice AI. Now, first off, the voice engine. We are working with 2.0, but there are still some things that don't work to the extent of, let's say, call transferring. They don't work as well as 1.0 yet. So we're working on that right now. But however, the quality of the conversation, if you're just making a conversational voice AI, 2.0 is better. So for now, since we're doing a lot of functionalities, we're going to be using 1.0. All right. So over here, as you can see, we have the AI model, GPT-4o, and then the time zone. This all depends on you. But let's go into the nitty gritty right here. So as you can see, the voice that I used was Dakota H. Dakota H I've seen to be one of the best ones, performing ones at least. And they've made it a lot easier. You remember how I showed you guys before that you needed to do a simple trick, right, to make another accent happen within here, but you couldn't select English? Well, now they've added this action where you can basically select any voice as well as any single language that you may want. So they made it way simpler for us to understand. And then, of course, the voice model, this depends on what you want. I have it best for non-English, but you could go ahead and select V2, which is best for English. The only reason I have it at 11 Labs Turbo is because it's able to identify a little bit about other languages more than it would with best for English right here, which is V2. So I do 2.5. Then, of course, the patience level matters in terms of how many questions are you asking the person, right? So, for example, if you're asking somebody for, let's say, their address or something like that, you would more than likely have to put it either on medium or high, because this patience level doesn't have to do anything with latency. Latency is down here, right here. This has to do with how long it takes for the voice AI or actually how much time it gives for the user to reply. So if I ask you, hey, what's your address? And let's say, for example, you start telling me and then you think about it for a second, this is going to interrupt you. This right here is going to interrupt you because you have it at low in approximately 1 second. That's why you want to have it at 3 to 5 seconds. This is something that you definitely need to know when you're making these builds. Okay, so moving on, the stability, they made it way easier for us to understand. So it is expressive, dynamic, balanced, predictable, and stable. Really depends on what you'd like it for it to be, but these are the settings that I have. I just have them as default, except for optimize latency, which I have at 2. Then, of course, we have voice AI prompting, and so on and so forth. I have this as 1 second pause before speaking. And these are all preferences, like I said, but the only thing that I do recommend that you do is the idle reminders need to be at 8 seconds, typically. So with that being said, we can move on a little bit to the prompt. We're not going to go over that much of the prompt because it's right over here in the document. However, as you guys may already know, you can basically structure a hierarchy for the voice AI, so that way it understands a little bit better of the steps that need to happen and so on and so forth. So essentially, that's why I do who you are as one hashtag, because it's one thing. It refers to one thing only, who they are. And then their goal for the call. This goes under who you are. So that's why it has 2 hashtags. And maybe that's a little bit easier for you guys to understand. So first thing we do is we gather the name. And then, of course, we gather the date of birth. We gather the phone number related to the patient. We find the patient ID here. We gather the reason for visit, whether it's a follow-up new patient or a basic service question. We gather their inquiry. Why were they trying to speak with the doctor? and then selecting a physician, which is basically a doctor, because this is mainly for doctors' offices. So then they would go ahead and select their doctor, whether it would be Tony Jack, Lauren Palmer, blah, blah. I gave it 10 right here. So they could provide for 10 doctors, and then it would choose their provider ID, which is how it typically goes with the EMR system. So then we have appointment booking. So we book them into an appointment if they're ready. And then we have a call ending script along with a knowledge base with their company information, patient information here that we gather once you connect it properly to your Go High Level, how you should speak, and then of course be clear and concise. And then it gives them basically, these are all variables that you should have, or at least that I've made personally, that you could use for making a conversation more realistic, pretty much. So yeah, you could use those like that. Now let's go ahead and get out the prompt. But yeah, that's basically all there is to the prompt. It's not very complicated and it's pretty self-explanatory. That is why we make sure to format these prompts like so that way you can see what's going on, right? What are the sections that are happening? That's why they're identified within the hashtags. That's how we do it. So now let's go into the hard part. Okay, so what's going to happen throughout here? So the first thing is that we're going to gather their first name, last name, date of birth, physician that they chose, which is the doctor basically that they chose. We gather the inquiry, and then we book the appointment. I don't need to show you guys how it looks like within here because, like I said, you could just get the template from Synthflow themselves. And then, of course, this custom action goes over the finding the person within your Go High Level system. Of course, whether you'd like to do it for Go High Level or not, this is just an example. It's all hypothetical. So if you find the person or the contact, you can go ahead and see that it is a success. So this is what we identified throughout the call, whether we found the person or not. Okay, so now we can move on a little bit to the appointment handler. So this is the first automation that happens. Now, how do we connect this over? For those of you who are beginners or newbies to Synthflow, this is what basically needs to go on. The trigger, right? So whenever somebody calls into this line, this basically means that once the call finishes, we will get all of the information from that call into this webhook. Now, how do we connect the caller, the assistant, to this automation? Well, all there is to that is basically a URL right here that you will copy and you will paste right along here, as you can see. So you'll paste that on there, make sure that it's all good, and then you'll be able to have that information, okay? Now, once that goes and happens, you will be able to map the reference. As you can see, I already mapped it, which is basically clicking a button here and then selecting. And then now we go into the call workflow. So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. And you guys definitely need to pay attention for this part because it might get a little confusing. And I want to make sure that it is very simple for you guys. Okay. So first of all, we find the contact. Then we basically create the contact. And by the way, we find the contact using their phone number. And a way to find the contact using their phone number is by going into inbound webhook, lead, phone number right there. Because remember, we're collecting the information that we gather from that inbound webhook. So that's why we do that. The same thing goes on with the first name, last name, and phone number. Then we go ahead and update their contact fields, whether it is their date of birth, the call ID, call recording, call transcript, the doctor they selected, their first name and last name, and then that's it for this part. So we want to make sure that we update all of these sections so that way we have it within here, okay? Okay, so then after this, we add a note. So this note will be stored within every single contact. Now, you guys remember the call that we listened to? That call was this. I didn't do anything to make it happen, but as you can see, it booked me into here as a scheduled appointment. And then it gave me the time that I selected. And then, of course, as you can see, the notes right here. This is the last call that I had. And here we go. See, it's spelling out my name. And then this is basically just the whole transcript. So it goes over the notes, goes over the call recording, goes over the transcript. And there's an even easier way to see this, which is if you click on this right here. And you would see it on the notes on the right side right here. See? Very simple, very neat. Okay. And then obviously they'll make a new note every single time there's a call. Alrighty. So that's what you would look like, and that's the reason we add notes onto here. So right here. So as you can see, now we're identifying whether the user was active throughout the call or if they were not active throughout the call. The reason for this is because there are so many people that call in and they just immediately hang up right after. For some reason, right? But it usually happens with everybody, even with humans having calls. So we want to identify those users and make sure that nothing happens if they were just inactive throughout the call. So we don't want an email being sent to a doctor if they didn't even want, if there's no information in that email whatsoever. So we identify those guys and we make sure that they get sent straight to the trash can. All right. So that's what happens here in this condition. As you can see, we will modify their contact engagement score and subtract a 1 from it. And then we will add them onto the pipeline, which is the pipeline that I showed you guys right here. Let me go back, opportunities. So this pipeline, which is super simple, you just go into pipelines, you create a pipeline, and then you give it these 3 sections: scheduled appointment, didn't schedule an appointment, patient and active on call. That's all it is. Okay. So once that happens, we add them into that patient and active on call stage. We add their name, where they came from, and then we allow duplicate opportunities within there. Okay, so if they were active users, we want to make sure that we add a contact engagement score as a +1. And then, of course, after here is where it may look a little bit complicated, but I'm just going to explain this in a very simple way. We find the doctor that they selected. Okay? So how do we find that? This is, by the way, it's going to do it all by itself as soon as you set it up. So how do we find that? First of all, it's going to give you a physician that they chose. So it's going to say, hey, they chose Leah Gates, for example, right? Now, right here, it's going to identify, hey, we're identifying that info extractor that I just showed you guys right now. And we're going to say, is Tony Jack, is Lauren Palmer, is David Smith, is Audrey Campos, is Leah Gates, and so on and so forth. So if it's Leah Gates, it's going to go down Leah Gates branch, which is this one right here. Now, what happens? We basically add a tag for Leah Gates, and then we assign it to a user, whoever user is in charge of that or handling that. You don't need to do this if you don't want to. And then, of course, we add a task to review the call for anybody that is handling that EMR system, or sorry, that doctor's office. And then we schedule an appointment. So, sorry, not schedule an appointment. Then we figure out whether the appointment was scheduled or not. So how do we figure that out? It goes back to the same thing. We made a yes or no question right here. Did the user book an appointment? All right. And now here, it doesn't answer it with yes or no. It answers it with true or false. Did the user book an appointment? If it's yes, it's true. If it's no, it's false. So what we do is, if it contains true, perfect. They booked an appointment. If it doesn't contain anything, it's called the none branch, where nothing happened. Well, this didn't happen, so anything else, they get sent to that branch. Okay? So basically, once they schedule an appointment, we add them into this stage right here, as you can see, which is the scheduled one. And then we add their contact name, the inbound healthcare call, whatever you want. This is where they came from, basically. And then allow duplicate opportunities. So after that, this is the important part. You want to make sure that we send an email, right, over to these guys to have them understand what happened throughout the call, right? What was the call information? What physician did they ask for? And so on and so forth. And then, of course, if you'd like, you could also create an extra email right here that tells them all this information, but it doesn't include the fact that they booked an appointment. So didn't book appointment. And then we save that. All right. So it's the same thing, basically. Now, it may look hefty, but it's literally the same thing happening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. That's all it is. If this happens whenever they select a doctor, it's going to add them onto that stage. So that's it. All right. So that's what happens throughout the Jessica appointment appointment handler workflow. And now we're going to go over the calendar AI follow-up automation, which is the one that I've shown you guys a couple of times, but it is to make sure that people show to their damn appointments. A lot of people no show to their appointments. So we want to make sure that they actually go into their appointments, right? So we basically find the appointment that was booked using this trigger. So if they were in my calendar, for example, this whole automation would get triggered. Okay? So here's what happens. They get an email notification and an SMS notification. Then we have a wait time that says it waits 1 day before the meeting itself, and then it makes a phone call. Now, this phone call will essentially have it'll send them an assistant that will either confirm their appointment, reschedule their appointment, or cancel their appointment. All right. So once that happens, the voice AI is also able to identify, and we'll get to what happens after this call because it's literally the same thing. We're sending a call to Synthflow, then we're gathering an inbound webhook from that call, and then doing the actions that we need. So we'll go over that automation in just a second. But all we're doing is basically having an assistant that confirms the call them. Okay? Now, we wait for an hour before the call, and then we send them another email, another internal notification for you guys, so that way you know when your appointment is, or you can send it over to the doctor themselves, and then another SMS for the person that is going to show up to the appointment. Okay? Then we wait for 10 minutes and we do the exact same thing. All right? Give 1 second. Alrighty. Now I'm going to go over one last automation. And I will go ahead and start answering some questions. So if you guys want to leave a bunch of the questions right now, I will go ahead and answer them in just a second. Okay? All right. So what happens after you make this phone call? All right. How do we know if they confirmed, if they didn't confirm, if they rescheduled, if they canceled? Well, here's how you do it. Okay. So we're going to go over to appointment post call info extractor. And in here, we're gathering all that data. So from the call that we made, right, an inbound webhook, I showed you guys how to connect that. We find the contact with the phone number. We add the note. And then we make a condition, right? So this condition basically gathers whether they hung up on voicemail, if they didn't answer the call, if the call failed, or if they answer the call. Okay? If any of these happens, they just get added into their appropriate pipeline stages. And then, right, if they did answer the call, we will gather with an info extractor whether they confirm the appointment, cancel the appointment, or reschedule the appointment. Now here, we just send an internal notification telling yourself or the doctor, hey, this person confirmed their appointment, and then of course with their contact name. And then you add them into their appropriate pipeline stages so that way you can identify all that happened throughout the call. Alrighty. Now, I'd love to get some of the questions for the automations themselves, so that way you guys could have that. And I'm also going to go ahead and answer some of the questions for you guys as well. So let's go ahead and let's go through all of these. All right. I don't know if I should put it like right here or not. It's going to like loop. I don't want it to loop. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Alrighty. All right. So let's go over some of these. So it says, does the real-time booking action work better with version 1? I can't get it to work with version 2. It requires an email, always books with that email instead of the user email variable. Yes, I would definitely recommend for you to use version 1. I explained this in the beginning of the call, but the actions, like when you're performing actions throughout the call, version 1 right now is better than version 2 because version 2 is more conversational. Okay? If you use version 2, a lot of time right now, it's just not working with the actions. But this is something that we know and that we're working on. So we're going to make sure that it gets settled for you guys. Okay? Now, does it have the second option to respond to give me a second? Does it have the option to respond to give me a second? I'm not sure if I understand your question, Tino. If you could iterate it, that'd be awesome. And I could go ahead and help you out with that. But yeah, you could probably create like separate options, whenever somebody wants to reply to this. Let's see. All right, let's see. Okay, so how can we access the build software that you are using? The build software. You're talking about the Go High Level? It should be Go High Level, Dave, if I understand correctly. Sorry, not Dave. Well, actually, yeah, Dave. Dave is the one that said that. Yeah, it should be Go High Level, Dave. So does it book into a specific physician's calendar, not a generic one? Yeah, so if you wanted to book into a specific physician calendar, you could also add it within the automation. So let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. So right here, you could add it within the automation. So that way it shows you, hey, this person booked in for this time. Now make sure that you connect it to, their calendar. And then you would do it through here with an action. And you would more than likely need to use a custom webhook for this. So right here, you use custom webhook. But this is where it gets a little bit difficult, obviously, because you're dealing with API. So you could go ahead and explore down that route. But yes, it's a possibility for sure. Now, let me go over a couple more. And I can just leave it up here so you guys could see where I'm looking. Let's see. How to make these healthcare assistants fully HIPAA compliant. That you would need to. I can't give legal advice. I'm not allowed to. So you would have to research that on your own, Eugene. Sorry about that. Yeah, so you would be able to connect with EMR systems via API. And then exactly. Yeah, it's very hard. I'll tell you that much. It's not the easiest thing. I've done it. I've connected to EMR systems, and it's very tricky. Okay, since the webhook is a post-call trigger, was the booking dynamic or static? How do you select specific calendars and ensure availability? Yeah, so good question, Chris. So basically, what I'm going to be doing for this, actually for the webinar itself, since this is a demo to show you kind of like how it works, I just made it like a static calendar, pretty much. But if you wanted to book into a dynamic calendar, you could also connect that either via API or no, actually, it would have to be via API or a round robin calendar. So whichever one you would rather choose, you could add multiple people into that calendar. Okay, so that's how you would add multiple doctors on there. Is this software available commercial through Synthflow? I believe you're talking about Go High Level as well, Dave. A language which is not supported by 11 Labs. Are other voice models available with Synthflow, or maybe use Google TTS via SIP integration? I'd be able to help you, Sander, but I don't know what language you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you mentioned the language. If it's not supported via 11 Labs, and it doesn't give what was it? Most of these, so all of the transcription ones. So basically, as you guys may already know, what happens with a voice AI is that it transcribes everything. So either if it's Deepgram, Gladia, there was another one. I think it was TalkScriber, I believe. Deepgram being the best, from what I could tell. If Deepgram doesn't have the ability to understand another language, you will not be able to do it. And it's very hard to be able to do it. Okay, so just keep that in mind, Sander, and hopefully that helps. How can we get this workflow in Go High Level? For that, I believe you would be able to get it throughout my community. Hold on, give me one sec. So this one right here. So you could join there for free. And then I'll leave it down in the description below so that way you have it in the comments. I wish I could pin messages, man. Hey, Keith, what's up, man? Good to have you here, bro. I appreciate that. If it takes longer than 5 seconds to respond. Oh, I think you're referring to the question I gave you earlier. So does it have the option to respond to give me a second? Oh, yes. Like, are you talking about like how long it would take for them to respond? If you want it to be longer than 5 seconds to respond, there's a setting for that. And a lot of people don't know this, but now, so you have idle reminders. So for example, either here you can increase this. So these and this one match together. So if you wanted to wait like 30 seconds because somebody said, hey, give me a minute, right? And you give them 30 seconds, right? Here, this goes up to max 20 seconds. So these are idle reminders. If they're idle for 20 seconds, then it says, hey, are you still here? Do you have any questions? And you could edit this message right here, okay? But that's how you would do it. Okay. One for confirming doctor. And second for confirming appointment. Yo, Ali, what is good, my man? There will be 2 assistants. I'm not sure if that's a question or a statement, Ali. Could you reword it and I can get to it? Use a middleware. Which API? It depends on the API call that you're doing, man. So it would really depend on the endpoint. You would have to look into the API documentation of that EMR system. How do we make sure there is no conflict on the physician's schedule on their own system? You would need to check for the available time slots first. That's how you would do it. And then book in the time. Daryl. Hungarian language. If they don't have Hungarian, like I mentioned in Deepgram, they will not have Hungarian in Synthflow or any other software. Unless you use a separate transcriber, which could be, it could be TalkScriber or Gladia. Maybe they have Hungarian, but you would need to check first. What happens, I'm refreshing the screen share. Oh, hold on. Stop sharing. Is that good now? Should be good now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is anybody that wants to raise their hand will be put on stage. so that way they could ask any questions. Okay? I'd love to have you guys on here. Just keep in mind, I cannot talk about HIPAA. All right. So, all right. So let's go ahead and. Oh wait, HIPAA base. You can only keep the call recording to make sure the call transcribed. After that, it must be deleted. Secure storage of client details and systems that are compliant for this. Something beyond scope here. Let's check your local legal team. Yeah, exactly. Check the local legal team to make sure that. Yeah, just make sure. And just check. Deep Gram supports Hungary. Awesome. That's awesome, Sander. That is awesome, 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 Sander. Okay, perfect. So let me see who has their hands. I don't see any hands raised. You guys got no questions? That's crazy. Got to make sure that you use the time valuably. Just raise your hands, and then I will either answer the ones in the chat or add you on here if you have any specific questions. You could ask me either anything related to this build itself or anything related to even your build. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that. Eugene, let's get you on here. Eugene, you should have been invited now. What's up, Eugene? How you doing, man?
Hey, man. How's it going? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Going great, brother. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for all the value. Really cool. I just, regarding the model, you were saying that 1.0 does actions better than 2.0, right?
Definitely. Right now, the 2.0 does better conversationally, but if you want it call transferring, if you want it booking into appointments, calling APIs, right now 1.0 is better. But we understand this, and we're making sure that we can get it fixed.
I was just wondering, meanwhile, is it a good idea to maybe create like a team of agents where the first you ask a question, like, what are you calling about? And if it's more conversational, then you route them to a different agent with a 2.0 model, or if it's more about appointments or extractions of data, then you route them to 1.0 model, just like to do it like that, like as a team.
Well, yes, but keep in mind that any conversation that's like conversational could lead to like a close, right? So if you
Right.
ever want them, like if they ever wanted to book an appointment, now you're kind of cooked there because you won't be able to bring him back. So I would suggest that you just have everything in 1.0. It's not like it sounds bad. The call that I made right now, the one that was recording, that was with 1.0 and it sounded really well. So
Okay.
I think you'd still be better off just using 1.0 for now, but we're making fixes so that way we could use all the tools for 2.0 as well as the functionality for 1.0.
Okay, no, that's cool. Thanks, man. I would love to connect to discuss more about that. Thank you.
Of course, brother. Thank you. All right. Sander, yeah. So that would be available in the AI agency vault right there that I showed you guys. I sent the link. I'll send it again. That's basically my community where I have like 100. I have 100 of you guys in there already, and I constantly give value on there so that way you guys can use that value. And right now, we're actually building, which is very very cool. We're actually building a GPT capable of doing your prompting. So this is gonna be like insane once I get this to work. And then of course it's it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be very good. Let's see. Let's see what else. Okay. We have people raising their hands. I love that. Chris. Yo.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, Chris? Good to see you, brother.
How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm doing great.
All right. So I just wanted to ask about when you asked the AI assistant in regards to the previous appointment. I know this was a static example, but would it be able to go in and look through your chat history and client history to then identify who you worked with?
Most definitely, bro.
Okay.
So we're talking about, hey, who did you meet? Sorry, I want to do a follow-up appointment. Oh, I see you followed up with a Leah Gates right here. Would you want to schedule with them?
Right.
It's going to go ahead and it's going to do that, and it's going to be really seamless, but you need to make sure that you connect with your system. You could even do, honestly, if I'm being completely honest, when I was making this template with Synthflow, I had it like that. Like
Okay.
it was already gathering. It said, hey, you booked an appointment with this person, and it was a custom field that just got plugged into there
Okay.
super easily. But if you would like to change that right on your prompt, super simple to do as well, which I give you the variables on the bottom of the prompt, which
Perfect.
I could even show you, right? But it's super simple, bro. And plus,
Awesome.
I know you're a super smart guy, so you could also figure it out.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks, man.
Of course, brother. Thank you for joining.
Yep.
Alrighty. And we got one more. Nick, let's get you on here, bro. Nick, I invited you as a co-host. Let me know if you got that invite so that way you could join up and we could get this going. All right. What's up, Nick?
Hi, yeah. Can you hear me okay? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you good. A little muffled, but it should be good.
Yeah, how you doing? I've got a question about call forwarding. So say, not specifically in this system, but say, like an estate agent or whatnot has a mobile phone to take calls on, and then they want to forward it on to like an inbound voice receptionist, and they do that. Will Synthflow pick up the original caller's ID and phone number, even though it's been forwarded to Synthflow, not directly to the Synthflow number target originally?
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I'm curious about the answer. Just I could experiment and try myself, but I just I think it'd blow my mind, try to figure that out. But
I would say because, and to simplify for everybody as well, basically what he's asking is if you have a phone number, let's say I get a call, right? And I say, oh, don't worry, I'm going to transfer the line over to the AI assistant, all right? Will the AI assistant be able to get the user's phone number, like the one that was originally calling? And will they also be able to get their caller ID? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So basically what you would do for this is that, first of all, I'll answer it simply. That is not possible because the person that's calling the AI itself is me. But what you could do for this is create an info extractor that will genuinely ask the person, hey, is for the phone number associated to that account. I feel like that's the best way to go about it. Just because, even so, I do this for every single build. And the reason I do this for every single build is because if you just use the person's phone number, they could be calling with their mom's phone number or somebody else's phone number that's not even associated to the account whatsoever. And now you won't even be able to find their account. So you always say, hey, what is the phone number associated with your account?
Cool.
That's what I would recommend.
And I've got another quick one, I hope. I don't remember what I was going to ask. Yeah, it was about concurrent calls and how that works. Saying an outbound phone call. I heard somebody say sometime recently that if you use the same outbound Twilio number more than 100 times in the one day for a call, it'll get marked as spam. Is that true? And if so, is there a way around it to rotate various outbound numbers?
Yeah, so I know all about this, and that means that they didn't have a drip mode set up for their outbound calls. What does a drip mode mean? Now, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you a little bit about how we can do this. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's an example, but let's just do this. I'll start from scratch. All right, so this drip mode right here, this action, you want to make sure that you keep this at around like 10 or 20. maximum 30. Now, every minute that a contact goes through here, it's only going to send it 10 a minute. So if I put 10,000 onto this list, it's only going to send 10 per minute to the next stage. This is exactly what Synthflow meant when, hey, you need to drip your calls, or you need to make sure that you don't send them all at once. That's probably what's happening to your guy. Once you do that, and of course with a concurrent call limit, let's say you're even doing like way more. Honestly, no. This should just fix your issue. Now that I really rethink about it, this should solve everything. But yeah, that's what I would do for that.
Cool, thanks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And let me stop sharing. All right. Thank you, Nick. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see. Have you considered? Yes, Tino, you can contact me. That wouldn't be a problem. Have you considered using SIP PBX system in addition to Twilio? No, I have not. Let's see. Yeah, that's like Lewis mentioned. That's the enterprise one for Synthflow. Matthew, as of Monday, so are you currently part of the Synthflow team? Not specifically, but I will technically yes and technically no. I'm like a contractor for them. Grant, good to see you on here, man. Visionary AI, by the way, guys, is my company, so that's why that's why Grant is joining up like that. Okay, so cool. Let's see if there's two. Okay, there's two more questions. How can we integrate individual physician calendars with their availability into Synthflow to ensure leads book directly with the assigned physician? You would need API for this, Jeremiah. That's how you would do it. But you would need API. Okay. Was there a demo phone number again? Yeah, of course. Yep. Thank you, Troy. I appreciate that, man. The demo phone number, I'm going to go ahead and drop it one more time on here. This is the Google Docs. So you guys have all the information on there as well. And then, yeah, that should be good. Okay. If there's anybody else that wants to raise their hand and come up on stage as well, that should be fine. I do have 7 more minutes, so we can go over a couple more things, of course, that you guys would like. And then I will make sure that I approve you guys within the community. All right, so yeah, within the community, the guys that applied are now approved. It's easier to get it to apply now, so that way you can get approved immediately and not have to go through the approval process. And then, of course, whenever you guys do go into the AI Agency Vault, which is this right here, it'll ask you a couple questions, and then it's actually going to activate a voice AI calling you, which is a very cool experience. And then it's going to either book you into a meeting or so on and so forth. But it's gonna be really cool. Hold on, let's go back. And then in here, I'll be able to, yeah, as you can see, there's a good amount of people on here, and I want to make sure you guys get the best value possible. It's kind of the same thing as the Academy, so I can stop sharing now. All right, Lewis, let's get you on here, man. I invited you. The link for the recorded session should be on the Google Doc that I gave you, Tina. They should post it very, very soon. All right. What's good, Lewis?
Hey, man. Sorry about the background noise.
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good.
Yeah, feels good to be a co-host, man. I feel like I'm in the, the VIP. And by the way, whenever I see your webinars, I love that the One Piece reference you got there?
Oh yeah, I have two.
Oh.
Right there. There's one right
Oh, there it
there.
is. Yeah, right there. Hell yeah. I
Yes,
see
sir.
the figure. Awesome, man. Awesome. Respect. Um, but yeah, man. I wanted to talk to you about because I was looking at this web healthcare physician aid,
Hmm.
and I was hearing about that prompt AI that you want to do, where this AI would create your own prompt. Um,
Yeah.
is this something you're going to be offering for free? Is this something that's like, you're going to be charging a bit? What are your
Well,
plans on that?
if everybody has it for free, it's gonna get out of hand.
No, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it would more the only requirement is that you will need to be inside of my community in order
Yeah,
to be able to even access it.
yeah.
But more than likely it's not going to be free because it's going to be extremely extremely powerful,
No,
and we're
yeah.
talking about like because I already have my own. Mine actually creates all of my prompts. I already have a GPT that creates most of my prompts.
Oh, that's cool.
But now I need to train like an actual GPT in order to be able to do that and
Yeah, of
limit the
course.
access to it, of course. But
Yeah.
we're talking about very minimal amounts of people that are going to be able to use it because it's going to be that valuable.
Okay.
Eventually, dude, now that, we're all talking about, hypothetical, but hopefully the goal in the future, and I've already explained this in the community as well, but the goal in the future is to be able to get the GPT to first off make the voice AI prompt. And then after it makes the voice AI prompt, it gives you the workflow that you need entirely. So it builds your workflow. We're talking about all the automations, everything. And then it also gives you the API that you need to integrate with it. So with the workflows themselves. So we're talking about the whole package here. Like
Oh,
it's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
insane. But
That's awesome. No, yeah.
but
That's cool. And are you thinking of doing this like as a monthly fee or just like a one-time package you pay and you're good?
I have no clue to be honest.
Yeah.
You when you brought that pricing up, I was like, yeah, I haven't even thought about that.
No,
But
yeah, no, because I'm looking at that, man, and it's like this is a really good idea in essence where like I mean, if you start offering this, right? Like, me and probably everyone else around here, we could start offering to others, just get like a little commission fee, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like this could be
oh, I see.
big, man, because this is I re I don't ever see this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that
yeah, yeah.
that kind of like prompt AI prompt builder. So
That's
this
a
is
good
this
one. And
stuff.
honestly, me, I mean, dude, I'll show you this right now. Look at this, and I'm sure you guys would also value this. Um, I'm an open book when it comes to stuff like this, but I have like voice AI prompting right here.
Yeah,
And as you can see, if I tell it, where is it? Because I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of prompts on here. That's
yeah,
why it knows so much.
of
Like
course.
I literally just said it as an example. Create a voice AI prompt for a healthcare receptionist booking appointments. Who you are, go for the call actions, greeting, qualification. It goes over the whole thing.
Now, is it just like a GPT, or are you thinking of potentially doing an assistant, like a prompt completion assistant on GPT?
It's gonna be a GPT.
Okay. Why would you use GPT instead of assistant, if you don't mind me asking?
Assistant, as in like the voice AI assistant for Synthflow.
No, no, like an open AI assistant.
Open AI assistant. I'm not sure. I know what you mean.
Because if you're using a GPT, you can technically transfer that to an open AI assistant. You know what I'm saying? And you can practically move everything you got, put it in a file, put it into the assistant, and just give the assistant a prompt itself saying, hey, whenever they ask you to build a prompt, you build it. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. I mean, if you want, you can contact me after this, so I could kind of understand a little bit more. I didn't
Because
know.
that's how I was thinking you were
Yeah,
doing it. You know what I'm saying?
by assistant though, I think the assistant is what kind of like catches me. But what software would that be in?
In OpenAI, OpenAI has assistants, embeddings, in the chat completions, which is GPT.
Is it where it's like the Explore GPT thing?
Like the it's like the OpenAI platform, you know? Like Playground. If you go to you have an OpenAI account, right?
Yeah, I do.
Go to playground dot I think it's playground.openai.com.
Let me stream it for you guys so that you guys can see it. Playground dot
Oh,
open.
yeah, it is platform. Yeah, platform.openai. Right there, you can actually have your assistants,
This?
wait, I'm in mine. Let me see yours. Yeah, exactly. Log into yours, right?
Hold
I see a password.
on. Sometimes I forget I'm literally live streaming.
Yeah. No, I saw some Yo no fui. I saw something right there, and I was like, ah,
That's my grandpa. Ignore him,
oh,
please.
true. I just found it funny that yo no
Yeah,
fui.
yeah, because like every single time that we did like something, because sometimes I accidentally cut like his sofa one time, and it was just like Jonah Fui, and
Ha, ha, ha.
that became a thing. But anyway, yeah.
True.
So I'm here.
Yeah. So, um, go to playground. I think it's in playground. Yeah, playground. Yeah, and then assistants. There you go. And
So
in
this is.
assistants,
Uh-huh.
you can build an assistant. It's just like a voice AI system, but this is an open AI system. And here, you can build it so it creates the prompt maker. You see what I'm saying?
Mm. And then you could offer this.
Exactly.
Interesting.
You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah, no, no, this makes sense, and I appreciate you sharing this.
No,
This is
yeah,
with
man. Because
GPT as well.
yeah,
Nice.
exactly. This is all like I've used this because I work with chat platforms like I build chatbots, so I have to
Mhm.
use OpenAI for it. But yeah, I mean when it comes to OpenAI, they're the best in that regard.
Dude, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I love stuff like this, honestly.
No, exactly. And like this is like a voice AI assistant. You know what I'm saying? And exactly, Chris. Like you can use this with Make. You can use this with Nine and a bunch
Really?
of other stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's
So you're
definitely.
saying if I wanted to have the because what I was gonna do, I was gonna have the voice AI create like a sheet of what you need to do for the workflow. You're saying if I have this, I could have it actually create via API the whole workflow for you guys in let's
Oh
say
yeah,
GitHub.
man. Yeah, with you would have to use a bit more advanced with like what Chris said with Nine. Like you could use Nine, use OpenAI, and then from there, they would. It's like they're using mini AI builders, right? And those builders would just connect to the Synthflow and build it build it with the APIs because Synthflow has APIs. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. Damn.
Yeah. You have to talk with Synthflow though and see if they have a workflow API because that would be what would be missing because you would need a workflow API to build it from another software. You see what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, this is really good. This is
No,
really
yeah,
good.
man. Yeah, and like I said, like once you build it, um, talk with us, man, because I can sell it elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
can
like
find people
like
as like
affiliate
a
it.
yeah, affiliated like ambassador stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
And now that we're putting stuff out there, how much do you think this would even be worth?
Oh, this is the thing with OpenAI and all this other stuff is that people don't want to pay top dollar unless it's like doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But in this case, not everyone's gonna want to go in and build stuff all the time. So I would do a monthly charge.
Yeah.
Because if you do a monthly charge, you would get your money worth eventually. You know what I'm saying? Especially with more users.
Yeah.
And people are more willing to pay monthly for something like this than, top dollar one time charge.
Okay, that's like a separate idea then. Damn.
So, yeah, man. Hey, if you ever want to have a meeting, bro, like, I'm all for building stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, hit me up. I'd be
Yeah.
down, and I
No,
appreciate
yeah.
the value, bro. I honestly like this
No,
helps out
yeah.
a lot. Value for value, bro. That's how I always think about things.
Exactly, man. It's my, technically speaking, the company I work for is my dad's company, and my dad always says, man, to the clients, like, we're partners in the long run. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 31.
Oh, that's awesome, bro. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Oh, you're 21, bro. You got a whole life incoming, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And the good thing is that you're starting this out real young, bro.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm hungry for this shit.
At 21, I think I was well, I was in college, but for the jobs I was doing, it was like dishwashing. So you're definitely ahead. For sure.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I mean, I definitely want to make sure that you guys are along with me. I mean, I love doing this. Like I always thought about value. Like the only reason I'm here, and by the way, I don't get paid to do these calls. Like
No, of course.
it's all because I want to do it for you guys, and I want to make sure that you guys have the best value possible. And in reality, at the end of the day, it's like leading the voice AI industry itself. Because right now, whatever we make as the building blocks is what it's gonna be. Like this is what we're setting the stone. We're setting the line of what is gonna be happening in the next years.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that they're set correctly.
No, and hey guys, I honestly I see the messages. I'm seeing Chris, Dave, and Tino. Guys, let's all do a freaking Discord or something together, you know? Like I'm
Just
down.
join the
Like,
bro. Join the community. We're already
no,
on.
yeah, I got it. Yeah, hold on. Let me see. It's on the doc, right?
It's right here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's this one right here.
Yeah, I'm following you on YouTube.
Nice, nice. Hold on. Yeah, it's right here. I don't even know why I don't add this, but it's good to have
No, yeah. Let me join it.
because I know a lot of the people. That's why I always say like, "Hey, what's good, man? What's good?" Because I know most of the people here are from the community.
No, yeah. No, and I know y'all because I of all the webinars, Kevin, I love yours the most.
Oh, really? I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
who else is doing webinar? I mean, I know there's like a couple.
No, yeah, dude. I don't watch anyone else. When I see your webinars, I'm like, oh, I can't miss this. It's like a YouTube short, you know?
A YouTube hour short. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro, dude. I appreciate that honestly. I didn't know that they were valued this much. I thought I was like, kind of give it like value here and there. But I mean, if it's valued like this much, bro, I'll even make them better like from now on.
No, for I mean, hey, you're doing amazing. So making them better is always the go-to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's always up from here.
Yeah. No, but yeah, hey, let's I'm gonna join the thing
Make
and
a discussion. Look at this real quick. So right here, this is where we were like discussing about the first GPT idea, and then these are like all the votes as well that they like the idea that I made
yeah.
for the GPT. Bro, just go right here, make a discussion. By the way, I think you guys need to know that you can make discussions as well. It's not only me. So just make it and then start discussing. You know what I mean? So we'll have it all on there.
Okay, I will for sure.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, man.
No,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, like I said, I like building stuff.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Lewis, I appreciate it, man.
Oh
I think
yeah,
I'm
for sure.
gonna call it here.
Yeah.
But all right, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
No, yeah.
Thank you.
See y'all. Goodbye,
I'll
everyone.
see you soon.
Yeah. Goodbye, y'all.
Peace. Alrighty, fellas. So let me see. Do you need a sales guy? At this point, man, let me see this. I want to see what people said in here. I need a sales guy. Hello there. I need a sales guy too. This is awesome. Let me accept the guys I did join. Hold on. Alrighty. Dave, you're getting cloud out here. Look at that. I got all you guys. Let's talk. Good stuff, dude. Give it up for Dave. Give it up for Dave. You just closed 3 deals in a matter of 3 seconds. All right. Okay, fellas. 4 guys. There you go. Dave, you know what? I need a sales guy too. I'm kidding. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really do appreciate you guys' time, taking out literally a whole hour out of your days. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, Nick. Thanks, Lewis. You as well, Martin. Thank you, Grant. I'm about to call you right now, Grant. Well, I believe so. I think I have a call right now. But after. I know a couple people are typing, so I'm going to wait for them to finish and then I'll leave. Thank you, Tino. Thanks, fellas. Have a great day. All right. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.